Morning, guys. I'm just having my tea. It's this herbal tea, and it is so good. 'Cause I don't like coffee. Those of you who know me, I do not like coffee. So this is my coffee. It is so good, and it's like cinnamon. Ooh, it wakes me up like crazy. And this day, it's like kind of rainy and cloudy. It's supposed to be the eclipse, but it's rainy and cloudy. So, where's that tomorrow? I don't know. But anyways, so I'll be getting started with chores in a little bit, but I've been watching the Baxters, as y'all know, and I'm trying to binge this series because I know I can, but I also don't want to because I don't want it to be over. But I've been seeing these books come to life. These books I read when I was like 16 come to life, and it's the best thing ever. So we just had an episode. It's not the episode I'm currently on, but we just had an episode where, Luke and Reagan, which I love them. I love all the actors. All the acting is superb. Like, it is so worth it. Like, waiting sucks. Waiting for this show has sucked. But it has been also so freaking worth it. It has been. So, the last episode, those of you who remember the books, spoiler alert, of course, but those of you who've read the books, like OG Karen Kingsbury fans, like me, y'all know that Reagan's dad died in 9/11. He got crushed under a lot of stuff and 9/11 stuff. So, and he was leading people to Christ and all this stuff. So that happened. But he got crushed and all that stuff in 9/11. His building went down. So, and Luke had to go Luke had to go and help and blah, blah, blah. And Landon went and helped and 9/11 stuff. Well, now 9/11's, it's been decades. So, I'm like, I wonder how this is going to work. Because, their first boy is named Tommy after her dad. So, her dad does die. So, Luke and Reagan, they succumb to temptation. Pretty big one, and they slept together. Which I knew was going to happen because it happened in the books. Hold up. Oh, that hits a spot. It really does. Oh, that hits a spot. Anyway, so I knew that was going to happen. I'm like, okay, that happened. That sucks, and y'all shouldn't have done that. But, we all make mistakes, but that's a pretty big one. It's a pretty big one. So it's going to affect them, and they're going to have to deal with that for a long time. Yeah, they both will. And, see, because in the books, Reagan, missed a call from her dad. Because of that, she missed it entirely. She just got a voicemail from her dad. But in the show, she did get to call her dad and answer. I'm like, yes, okay, at least you got that. Because the Reagan in the books did not. So at least you got that. So she told her dad to meet them at the church and all that stuff. So the only thing is that she lied to him. And she didn't say, I love you back. And which I can only imagine the guilt and the shame that they are both experiencing and the grief and all that they're experiencing. Because I'm like, okay, so I wonder if he's going to die in a car accident. I was trying to think of how this dude's going to die. Because I'm like, I know he dies. So how? Because ain't going to be 9/11 anymore. So I'm like, okay, is he going to... Maybe he dies in a car accident on the way to church, maybe. I don't know. But he gets there at the church. I'm like, okay, it's not a car accident. Okay. Not that I want him to die, because I don't. But, this show has been, so close to the books, pretty much. In so many ways, it's been incredible. There's been differences, but also so, in tune with the books. I am screaming. I love that. Bookworms, they love that. They love that stuff. I do. So, I'm like, okay, so how? And then... And the church, because in the beginning of this episode, it said, which I'm going to talk about gun violence. I'm like, it didn't really click how that was going to happen. I thought maybe it was going to be a flashback of, be a flashback of Tim getting shot. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work, because I couldn't see it. And then, we hear gunshots in the church. Thankfully, the Baxters aren't there yet. Thankfully, they're still outside. Thankfully. But, I'm like, oh my gosh, what So I was like, I don't even know what to think, okay? I don't even know how to process this, okay? So I just had to pause the TV and just like that happened. That's how he's gonna die, okay? Is this better or worse than 9/11 in the books? No, I'm playing. Y'all know the answer to that. I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, this sucks. This is horrible. This sucks. And then Luke and Reagan go to the hospital. They're already on that fence. She's grieving and all this stuff. And, so lo and behold, she ends up breaking up with him and all that stuff because of what they did. Reagan's like, God's punishing me. And Luke's like, that's not how God works. And so she's in New York right now at a memorial for her father. And I hate that her parents are divorced. I hate that part because they weren't in the book, so I hate that part. But because they were happily married in the books. But anyways, regardless, just a tiny tidbit. So they broke up and everything because of what they did. They sinned. They're guilty. This was going to affect their relationship with God, relationship with everyone else, and it's going to be crazy. So they're broken up right now. And Luke's, questioning his faith, big time. Which I knew happened in the books. Luke kind of went on a spiral. Well, Luke and Reagan kind of went on their own spiral, So, but that happened. So Luke's questioning his faith and all that stuff. Because he's like, well, God let, 4 innocent people be, killed in his church. He didn't take care of them. All that stuff. Which is valid. Extremely valid. Extremely valid. But we don't always understand why. We don't understand the why, but I know it's hard. But even in the darkest times is when we need to cling to the Lord the most. Is when we need our faith the most. Is in the darkest times. And so that happened. And then what else happened? Okay, so that happened. Yeah. So yeah. Season 2. I'm still on season 2 now. I just finished episode 8. So that was about episode 8. So, watch the series because it's a must-see, but you will cry. So, get tissues. You will cry and you will scream and, all this stuff. So, yeah, but I love the show. I love the show.